So, with Kung Fu Panda 4 on the way, it's only fitting enough to do some videos related to something Kung Fu Panda, and in this case, reaction videos. Yes. And that's right, guys, you read the title. The next CinemaSins video that I'm reacting to does have something to do with Kung Fu Panda. And of course, that being the first Kung Fu Panda film. Yes, everything wrong with Kung Fu Panda in 15 minutes or less. Yeah, so I gotta say, because the first Kung Fu Panda film, who'd have thought how much of a huge impact it would leave off? Because, first off, I hope as though that in the video, CinemaSins will remove maybe one or two, three sins, because I tell you, the first Kung Fu Panda film, it's just fantastic, and the animation is beautiful, the music, the storytelling, need I go on? And before it came out, and, there's no doubt about it that a lot of people were doubting this upcoming DreamWorks animated feature film because, well, you've got a big fat panda being voiced by Jack Black learning the ways of Kung Fu. So, and as Doug Walker put it at it best, Jack Black is a panda. Get ready to ask for your refunds. But and speaking more about Doug Walker, he couldn't deny it either how beautiful this film is, and I agree. Like I said, the animation is beautiful. The music, just I tell ya. And then, of course, when the sequels came out, definitely the second one was the best. Even, and speaking more on Doug Walker, he couldn't deny it either how fantastic the first Kung Fu Panda sequel was. And as for the third film, well, it's not god-awful in any way. It's still a good Kung Fu Panda film. And for it being the second sequel to Kung Fu Panda, but I think, yeah, a lot of people seem to really enjoy and like the first two better. And, yeah, I can't deny that. But, yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what CinemaSins has to say on the Kung Fu Panda films. And that's the thing, because after this, I'll be reacting to the next two CinemaSins videos where, they sin on Kung Fu Pandas 2 and 3. But yeah, for this reaction video, of course, have to start with the first film. So without further ado, let's see what CinemaSins has to say on the first Kung Fu Panda film. Starting in 3, 2, 1, play. Volume's good. In 15 minutes or less. Spoilers.
Legend tells of a legendary warrior. Narration. Also, whose kung fu skills were the stuff of legend. Legendary legend. Pure awesomeness!
Okay.
It will be representative of all the film's instances of overly enthusiastic slang in lieu of jokes. It's the DreamWorks way. How did Poe get down from that high up so quickly? He's either
That's about
mastered
true.
in his fantasy, or this is later. All his former foes are gone, and it's just raining cats and dogs.
Never before had a panda been so feared and so loved.
Pandas of the past have set a pretty low bar for both of those. Pandas mostly just lay around, eat bamboo, and don't have sex. The Furious Five seem rather
Well, they
nonchalant about being
would.
on fire.
The Furious Five!
I wonder how much DreamWorks had to pay Neil Moritz to call him that.
We should hang out.
Why is Monkey the only one who wants to hang out with him, even in his own fantasy? Also, this is one of the 7 brief times Jackie Chan as Monkey gets to speak. Why are Poe's dreams/fantasies two-dimensional?
Oh, get up!
Is that small cot his bed? Merch pandizing.
Yeah.
Poe was able to fall down the stairs without cutting the shit out of his hand with the ninja star he's holding. How is Poe's father a duck? I mean, I'm all for adoption or animal-based movies, but in early China, a duck adopting a panda? I just don't see it. Poe falls
Obviously,
downstairs, gets up, and picks up
adopting.
the radishes with both hands. Yet a ninja star ends up in these noodles? It's possible that Ping uses ninja stars as a garnish, but that doesn't explain the whereabouts of the one Poe was previously holding.
Happy day, my son finally having the noodle dream.
I don't know a lot about cooking noodles or owning a noodle restaurant, but is the only qualification having a dream about noodles? Specifically, the noodle dream? I didn't have a dream about making fun of movies for a living. Oh, wait, yeah, I did. How are those rabbits not super pissed that Poe and his dad are just chit-chatting and not serving them soup? I hope that was a challenging special order for that pig. If not, I don't understand how this is the most popular noodle shop in the Valley of Peace. Took that pig forever to get his noodles. This would all be different if they had Yelp.
Didn't you ever, I don't know, want to do something else? Something besides noodles?
It's the hero has dreams beyond what his family wants cliche, even though being a fourth-generation restaurateur sounds like a pretty nice gig.
I thought about running away and learning how to make tofu.
So why didn't you?
Oh, because it was a stupid dream.
Poe is not telling his father that this is not only something he could still accomplish, but also a smart business decision to expand his menu.
Me making tofu?
Movie thoroughly eviscerates tofu. Also, why do some of the noodle soup patrons get table service while the others pick up at the counter? And does he really need to know the tables? I feel like he could just pass out noodles to whoever doesn't have noodles.
Tigers need more ferocity. Monkey, greater speed. Crane, height.
Out of all curt one-word feedback sessions, the most shameful is Crane needing more height. He's actually a flying bird who doesn't need kung fu to do what birds naturally do. Hilarity aside, shouldn't Master Oogway possess some kind of wind-altering power that would allow him to blow out all the candles with a simple tilt of the staff? Or does he need to attend the Lord Blackwood School of Extinguishment? Also, holy Jesus!
The first part, now that you say it, I didn't think of
DreamWorks is
that.
working on a prequel where Oogway is lighting candles and Poe is trying to stick ninja stars in his bedroom wall for an hour and a half. Master Shifu attended the Lord Blackwood School of Extinguishment and didn't invite anyone else. So, do all the creatures of this universe have low-resolution memories, or is it just Shifu and Poe?
Tai Lung will return.
That is impossible. He is in prison.
Well, it would be impossible if he was dead. Is this movie teaching children the lesson that it's better to execute your enemies instead? Is that a magic staff? Does this turtle use magic? Why not use magic instead of kung fu?
And you'll sell
Well,
noodles to all
you
of
know.
them?
Selling noodles?
Poe does not know the difference between wanting a different job and actively trying to put his family out of business. Where does he think the money for his ninja stars comes from? The Valley of Peace exclusively consists of pigs, geese, and rabbits. This is just another prime example of Hollywood pig, geese, rabbit washing. So did the Furious Five get dropped out of a helicopter, or do they all have the ability to jump 400 feet into the air? Why the hell is there a lone, small hole awkwardly placed in the top right corner of this wall? Maybe they were training one day and someone said, "Man, it's hot. Could someone open a small hole in the wall?" And someone else responded, "There isn't one. We should have one installed."
Then they're literally outside.
I was disappointed
But
to find out
what
there
does
was
it
no
matter?
adult movie called this. Also,
That
there
there's a
are clearly
hole.
43 missiles in that thing, but I guess 43 tongues of fire didn't have as good a ring to it. Every time I see them all together, I think to myself, there are 4 of them. Why are they called the Furious Five? Oh wait, I didn't see the mantis. That's racist.
Even I was
Sliding
counting
before a
them.
horrific fall should be further evidence to Shifu and the Five that he is in fact the Dragon Warrior.
The universe has brought us the Dragon Warrior.
Choosing the Dragon Warrior is an incredibly vague process. The oldest dude just points randomly and whatever is in front of his finger is the winner.
There are no accidents.
Not believing in accidents.
Escape from Chorgum prison is impossible.
Never underestimate someone like Oogway.
Ultimately true.
1,000 guards and 1 prisoner.
All subsidized by Valley of Peace tax dollars. Ridiculous. What must the
Michael
taxes
Clark
be like
Duncan.
for these citizens?
Rest in peace.
Time zone.
The voice of that
Between
rhino.
letting a random messenger in to see the world's most guarded prisoner and the haphazard way they chose Dragon Warrior, I'm concerned about this ancient Chinese animal society's looseness with safety and protocol. They made me Google, does China have rhinos? I'm not watching Kung Fu Panda to learn, people.
Master Flying Rhino's armor. The Sword of Heroes. The invisible trident of destiny.
It's almost like Poe is aware this is a movie, and he needs to explain everything he is seeing so we can know why he's freaking out. Otherwise, he's just talking to
Well,
himself.
You will never be the Dragon Warrior.
he's freaking out. He's fanboying, that's all.
Secret of the Dragon Scroll. Whoa. So, how does this work? Do you have a ladder or a trampoline or...
Or perhaps a chair and some fireworks? Or maybe one of the Furious Five could just jump up there and get it. Poe's panda tooth looks suspiciously like a human tooth. Poe didn't die
Probably so.
falling into the Kung Fu training area / death trap. Granted, that would make for a pretty short and dark kid's cartoon. So, is this duck their slave? Just ask him.
Or even see.
No, just
This
one of the
is two of the 7
servants,
times
like,
Jackie Chan gets
you
to speak.
know.
Doofy protagonist hears the cool kids talking bad about him behind his back cliche. Also, why is Poe hiding out behind rocks along an obscure walkway in the middle of the night? So does China use these kind of paper screens the same way Japan does? Kung Fu Panda, stop trying to make me learn.
Is that what this is?
Huh?
I am so sorry. I thought it was just a regular peach tree.
Poe may not have any Kung Fu skills at this point, but his talking with a mouthful of peaches skills are on point.
Quit. Don't quit.
Noodles. Don't noodles. Don't noodles? What everyone may be interpreting as Oogway's wisdom is really just
Don't
Oogway's
noodles.
Alzheimer's. I can only assume that Tai Lung's
God.
back muscles are filled with compressed air, because if not, there's no way to explain these rods flying out of his back with this high velocity. For such a high-quality prison run by rhinos, they really didn't think through the restraining process, even though this prison is completely dedicated to Tai Lung. It's clear that he can escape if he just has any piece of anything. I guess I can excuse the tiger with super strength that can lift 2-ton boulders on either side of him without having his arms ripped off. But what I still can't excuse is this prison feeling that this was a better solution than just bolting the chains down to the pillar he was standing on. This takes the henchmen are terrible shots cliche to a whole new level. They have giant crossbows on mounts, and he is still relatively restrained. So this was pure luck for Tai Lung, which brings up the question. What was his plan if this didn't happen? Was he just going to pull those giant heavy rocks up and hope for the best?
You're not going anywhere, neither is he.
Rhino Clark Duncan. Also, Rhino...
There you go.
This escape is brought to you by...
Like I said.
Allowing Bugs Bunny to thwart other wascals since 1938.
He won't get far.
This guard isn't
The Bugs
acknowledging
Bunny
that he's already
reference.
gotten pretty far.
Now, that was a cool shot, like,
Even dealing with this very implausible
all those
escape, how
arrows,
exactly
like...
did Tai Lung make it out of that fall? I guess the animators got too lazy to animate him out of that last predicament, so they just ignored it altogether.
You're gonna...
Rhino Helm scream.
I knew it! I was hoping
Say
they'd
there's
mention
1,000
it.
guards around the perimeter, huh?
Because they usually do, with the Wilhelm scream.
And the dynamite would have gone off by now.
Well,
Did Tai Lung disintegrate him? Why are we just seeing this copper horn shield that has no obvious purpose strapped to the ground?
Fly back there and tell them. The
real Dragon Warrior is coming home.
This makes for a cool movie
Love
moment
that.
of evilness, I guess. But in no way
Ian
does this make
McShane
any
is
military sense for the villain to do this. This is
Tai
1,000 times
Lung.
worse than monologuing. Sending advance
And good to
word
see him
the enemy
back.
/ good guys that you're coming?
in the
Cocky
fourth
is one
film.
thing, stupid is another.
Good morning, Master.
Does the animal that comes out of the room first get some sort of prize? This extreme urgency would otherwise be pointless. So I guess
The first one to get out of the room just
gets
Gets a prize.
Thought this was a family movie. Cartoon or not, Poe is dead. But he will. Another reminder that Jackie Chan got paid handsomely to say 5 sentence fragments and 2 complete sentences that will come later.
But if I didn't know any better, I'd say he was trying to get rid of me.
What gave it away? Was it the moment where he literally kicked you out of the Jade Palace?
Shifu found him.
Well, not so much found as was given anonymously. Does this ancient Chinese society that is made of animals and also has magic have stigma against unwed mothers too?
And he raised him as his son.
Father-son dynamic adds wholly unoriginal dynamic to the hero/villain dynamic in this movie. Dynamic.
But Oogway saw darkness in his heart and refused.
More Yoda Anakin ripoff. This is what I'm talking about with the magic.
Kind of,
Protégés
I
go
mean,
through literal
still.
Kung Fu gauntlets when there's obviously magic that can be taught. Are we sure this turtle is on the up and up?
And he's stuck with you. A big, fat panda.
Everyone keeps picking on Poe for being fat.
Here it
but
comes.
Pandas are fat. There's nothing to be done about it. No one gives the snake any. for
I think
having
that'll
an
be
arm.
the thumbnail.
There are no accidents.
Not believing in accidents. Someone needs to tell Shifu that not every moment requires kung fu.
My time has come. You must continue your journey without me.
Oogway heard that Tai Lung was coming, and he accidentally picked a fat panda to beat the Dragon Warrior, so he is getting the out of Dodge. This is the most useless magic turtle I've ever
No.
seen. What is his MO? Did he drop off evil Tai Lung at the martial arts center to prove a point about fate or something?
Tigress, you got to
That was a
try this.
beautiful
3 cheers for
moment
Jackie
with
Chan's fourth line.
Oogway departing, from the
You
world.
awesome movie. You can totally see that. Wouldn't need to ask what before slurping. Movie rips
So
off
far,
the
they've not been
version of the
removing
cranky
any
person when the cranky
sins.
person walks in
Hopefully
on
they
everything
will.
From all the movies.
We'll wait and
Let
see.
us stop, Tai Lung. This is what you've trained us for.
No, he trained them to defeat he who has already been defeated and subsequently imprisoned? It's convenient that he broke out, or all of their training would have been a waste of time. Shifu apparently doesn't notice the 5 are missing for a long time while he trains Poe.
Yeah, that's true.
Funny enough, the
Neither
Wind
does
of Sacred
Poe.
Tears was the name of my band in 8th
That
grade.
goes for both of
He's
them.
been trained. You may eat.
So basically, Shifu is training Poe the same way I train my dog to sit, stay, and roll over. The inevitable training montage we all knew was coming. Imagine Jack Black in a booth recording kung fu sounds for this scene. I highly doubt that Poe would be motivated by a bowl of steamed carrots and lettuce. How did they get that soup up there? And how does that not burn the out of his hands and head?
And you have been trained. You are free to eat.
Wow, years of kung fu training mastered in a business week. He must really be the Dragon Warrior. Kung fu dumpling hockey. Well, the kung
Oh,
fu
so they
version of the Shell
okay.
Games
One
is
sin
unfair as
removed
hell.
because of
I'm
that.
not hungry.
Shifu shouldn't be hungry either. He ate all the dumplings, which raises the question, why is Shifu viewing this as Poe being successful? He only got one of the 11 dumplings. This is a kung fu battle where he can quantifiably see who the winner is. Man, that prison is really fucking far away, dude.
Poe?
Yeah.
So that is his name. Poe.
Monkey pulls the airport police chief dick move of naming the warrior to the villain from Die Hard 2. I don't see why it's such a big deal that Tigress falls. She could just...
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
She hits
'cause
the ground and
giving
she'll be
away
fine.
the
I know
name
we have taken
to
some
Tai
pretty serious
Lung.
liberties with physics in the movie, but Mantis holding the rope bridge
I
with all his
realize
friends on
now.
it seems far-fetched even for the universe filled with kung fu fighting animals. I love how the 5 are renowned for their greatness, but due to the movie's overhyping of the Dragon Warrior, 4 of the 5 can't take out a bad guy together, which is some bullshit. Bruce Lee was a badass, but against 4 other badasses, he'd have lost, dog. That should have killed him, right? Is he dead?
No.
I'm willing to suspend disbelief for animal kung fu scenes that involve a mantis holding up a giant rope bridge filled with tigers and leopards, but smacking into the rocks like that is going to bust up a skull. Never mind. Why is the nerve attack accompanied with a Pink Floyd laser show on the recipient's body? Also, even though it is a very quick and powerful way to stop your opponent, this is the first time we've seen Tai Lung use it. Even after fighting the Furious Five just now and all the guards in the Chorocon prison. Also, why not just kill them?
You have done well.
Well, there's a reason why he didn't kill
I'm
them.
not worried about the missing 5 warriors, but I haven't even
It's
noticed
explained in the movie, for crying out loud.
Hero is humility.
Yeah, tell that to Cam Newton. Yep, he
Cam
paralyzed
Newton.
4 of the 5 and left the flying one to return them home, but somehow also allowed all that to happen before his own arrival. Paralyzed these 4 and then, what, wait in the bushes for a while? Watch Netflix? The f*** did this guy wait around so long for? And if
He was just making his
5
way
warriors
there because it was a long journey.
challenge, I'll tell you, he's the worst bad guy ever. He doesn't want to win. He wants
I
to lose, but
disagree.
facing
I
everyone.
strongly disagree on that.
Sorry, Pope.
For those of you keeping score at home, that's 5 lines for Mr. Champ. Why does undoing the
I do
nerve
like
attack
that
look like
because,
Shifu
you
is a
know, Monkey
chiropractor
saying
with Viper and
sorry
Tigers,
to Poe
but
after
Mantis
accidentally
looks like he's
punching him.
unlocking an iPhone. So Kung Fu is flower petal magic
iPhone.
invented by a turtle. Got it. No one seems the slightest bit concerned that Crane's neck is visibly broken.
Come, little one.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they realized
Well,
they didn't give Jackie Chan enough to say as this movie went
but he's
on,
still
so they wrote
okay.
some complete sentences for him, even though what he says still contributes nothing to the story. How the actual did he manage to do this? We will continue to ignore the no thumbs rule that has been violated numerous times in this movie, but I can't ignore that his arms/wings don't even reach to Poe's sides. Maybe Ping is also a kung fu master who is able to manipulate objects with his mind.
To make something special, you just have to believe it's special.
Ah, the old "there's actually nothing special about blank, you just have to believe in yourself" cliche.
But when Uguay said otherwise, what did you do?
This flashback of Oogway saying no is different from the other flashback of Oogway saying no. Did Oogway tell Shifu and
Yeah, it
Tai Lung that he
is.
couldn't have the Dragon Scroll 2 separate times? Or was
Different
Tigers
point
just
of
completely
view,
making up that previous
basically.
flashback in her own mind? There's a terrible draft at the Hall of Warriors. Someone should shut a window so those peach tree petals stop coming in.
Scroll is mine!
No
Well.
one from Shifu to Poe bothers to tell this dude the fucking scroll is blank. I mean, what happens if
No.
Poe stops the fight right here and just gives the scroll
Didn't
to
get a
Tai
chance
Lung?
to tell him
He
yet.
reads it, finds it blank, and then what? Is he still going to kill everyone? Maybe he even has an existential crisis and goes into a trance. My point is, fighting this dude over a worthless scroll is pointless. I think Poe is the Dragon
That one
Warrior
shot
because he's a
of the
boneless,
butt-
gelatinous blob.
butt
that
crack
cannot feel
hitting
pain.
his face.
Maybe the reason Shifu came so close to being defeated just now is he didn't fight silly enough. Holy shit, that building was brittle. The goose pig or rabbit that conducted the building inspection clearly didn't check the load-bearing studs. Matrix Pandalutions. Poe basically Jar Jars himself through this entire movie. So the panda makes a crater.
And
Tai Lung
that's
makes
about
a Wile E.
right.
Coyote hole when he hits the ground. This movie switches between real physics and cartoon physics so many times it's dizzying. Pick a lane.
Why
yo.
did I not think of that? The Wile E. Coyote, like...
Music playing right now sounds like "Look Away, Look Away, Look Away, Dixieland," and now you will hear that forever. You're welcome.
You want to get something to eat?
So now that Poe is officially the Dragon Warrior, he and Shifu have the same relationship as college roommates.
125 sins in the sentence. Tofu, okay. Okay, they only removed one sin. One sin! Oh my gosh. Come on, like, oh well. The after credits. I didn't get that one.
Oh, man!
I might have heard that. Star Wars. Makes sense. You'd know that music anywhere,
You
right?
want me to teach you something? You want to learn something? All right, here's a useful lesson for you. Give up. Just quit.
Is this School of Rock?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Of course. That's 2 Star Wars audio clips. Might have heard that too.
That means carnage. Christmas means carnage!
What is that from?
You were not meant to be the Dragon Warrior. You were the chosen one.
That's 3 Star Wars clips, and that's it. Some pretty good, some pretty good audio outtakes / after credits in this one. Yeah, so, and you know what, that is true, and I don't know why I didn't really think of that, because, you know, the whole thing in Kung Fu Panda, how it's, you know, it is similar to Star Wars, you know, the whole Anakin thing and such, you know, and being blinded by the dark side, yeah. Yeah, that's a good comparison. And yeah, so okay, so that was everything wrong with Kung Fu Panda in 15 minutes or less. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't remove, 2 or 3 more sins. They just removed one, and that was the one sin they removed was, well, the dumpling. That's all that they remove? Oh my gosh, like, come on, CinemaSins, You should have been more positive on the first Kung Fu Panda film. I'm not trying to, call you out or anything like that. I'm just saying. And like I've said before, the CinemaSins videos are for laughs and for our entertainment, and you're gonna sometimes agree with what they mention and they sin on. Like, yeah, there are a few things in which that, what they sinned in the first Kung Fu Panda film that, yeah, I would agree and kind of agree with, and some I disagree. Like, yeah, I strongly disagree on what they said about Tai Long. He is a fantastic villain in the Kung Fu Panda franchise, and for that matter, one of the top best DreamWorks animated villains. Yeah, I mean, I'd say like he'd probably be right there next to, say, well, the peacock from Kung Fu Panda 2, Lord Farquaad and the fairy godmother. God, who else? Well, I mean, the villains that were in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, Galaxar, Hail Galaxar. Yeah. But yeah, overall, what CinemaSins had to say on the first Kung Fu Panda film, like I said, some stuff I kind of agree with, and, some that I disagree with, as, you saw in my reaction. Yeah, and I had a feeling, just, I was hoping, like I said, like, if they would mention, Wilhelm Scream in the first Kung Fu Panda film, because, again, they usually do, like, for example, with the Star Wars films, like, they sometimes had said, Star Wars Wilhelm. So, and that was good, like, Rhino Clark Duncan, and like I said, before that came up, the late, legendary Michael Clark Duncan voicing that one Rhino, and, Michael Clark Duncan, he had a fantastic voice for voice acting, because from this and the Brother Bear films, if you remember his voice role in that, yeah. Yeah, just overall, what CinemaSins had to say on Kung Fu Panda, yeah, like I said, agree, kind of agree, disagree with, and still, I'm disappointed that, I'm not making a big deal of it, that they didn't remove a couple of more sins because of, like, say, from the animation, beautiful moments, I was hoping that happened, but the video is how it is, and, what CinemaSins does, so who can argue? And like I said, the CinemaSins videos, they're for our laughs and, for our entertainment. So yeah. So what about you guys? What did you think of the video itself? What CinemaSins had to say on the first Kung Fu Panda film? Anything that you agree, kind of agree with, disagree with? Yeah. And what did you think of my reaction? Leave comments and give this reaction video a like, as always. So, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to Everything Wrong with Kung Fu Panda in 15 minutes or less, CinemaSins. More reaction videos are on the way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video / reaction. And yeah, probably, yeah, right after I finish recording this, I'm gonna get straight to, recording my reaction to the next 2 Kung Fu Panda films that CinemaSins sinned on. And stay tuned for that in a couple of hours, pretty much. Take care, and peace out. Skadoosh.